Good evening and welcome to January 27, 2025 Valley View School District Board Meeting. Could everybody silence their phones? I hereby call this regular meeting of the Valley School Board to order. Mr. Baduris, could we stand for the pledge? The affirmation statement would be read by Zoya, the board ambassador.
Our mission is to empower every learner to be college, career, and life ready, and to develop, grow, and achieve as a productive citizen.
Thank you. Dr. Wood, the agenda, please.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Zach. Tonight, we are seeking your approval of the agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Student and staff recognition. 5.1, Spotlight.
We're going to go over our expectations. It says in centers, I will. Who can read number 1 out loud first? How about Benjamin?
Stay with my partner.
Say it together.
Stay with my partner.
I started my career in kindergarten and then I had a previous district, and then I came here, I was teaching 5th grade. I was like, whoa. It was a big jump from kindergarten to 5th grade. It was fun, obviously every grade's wonderful, but I really missed being in kindergarten. I just feel like it's such a wonderful year, and you just see such a great amount of growth from the beginning of the year to the end, and when the light bulb finally goes off. And so I just feel like I accomplished something every year when they leave and they're ready for 1st grade.
One of the things many people may not know about kindergarten teachers is that in the fall, they watch the weather forecast very carefully. The reason why is because, true or false, the most difficult day for a kindergarten teacher is the first day that they have to get all the coats on the students before they go outside.
True, absolutely true. You have to put 10 more extra minutes into your plan time before you go outside. Otherwise, you'll be late because they don't know whose hats are theirs or gloves, and they need help zipping and everything. And yeah, it added duty to the day. So 3 plus 2 equals how many altogether? Good job, right there. Awesome.
As a kindergarten teacher, you're responsible for setting the foundation for all the learning that comes after. How do you set the foundation for your students to become critical thinkers?
In kindergarten, it's basically the start of their education, right? So some of the kids come in, they've been in preschool before, some haven't. So it's introducing them on how to become a critical thinker, right? And so we give them those real world problem solution, teach them how to be problem solvers, teach them real world situations and get them thinking about how can we do this? What do we do here, and just get their mind thinking, teaching them how to be critical thinkers, and exposing them to a bunch of different situations. Can I ask you a question? What do you notice about Dad's face in this picture right now? What do you notice?
He's
He's like this. Can you make Dad's face? He's like, you're eating again? Oh, that's a good one, Benjamin. I love that one. All right, let's read this together. Look at the cotton candy.
When the school year comes to an end in May, what's the one thing you want your students to go out the door with as they go on to 1st grade?
Basically how to be in school, right? They come in at the beginning of the year, they don't know to sit down and raise their hand when they want to ask a question. They don't know how to push their chair in, right? So on top of the academics, it's still about teaching those foundation skills, right? Or zipping up coats like we talked about in the winter, you know? But being ready for first grade, reading, writing, understanding math, all the stuff that at the beginning of the year, not all of them know.
You and your husband have made the choice to do one of the greatest things people can do, and that's to become a foster parent. Can you take us back to that conversation, I'm assuming at the kitchen table, as you decided, yes, we want to open our homes and our hearts to a child who needs a place to live?
We went back and forth for a few years, honestly, saying, oh, maybe we should foster. Oh, I think it would be too hard, back and forth. It was mostly my brain going back and forth and my husband just agreeing with everything, right? And then after about a year, I finally said, listen, we have the room in our house and there are so many children that need loving homes. I think we should foster and open up our house, and we did. And so we have a 1-year-old foster son right now.
But on the other side, I'd also like to ask you the difficult question. And what is it like for you and your husband when a foster child leaves your home?
It's very hard. It's hard. And it's really heartbreaking, but you just know, you just hope and pray that they're in good hands. Otherwise, it's really too difficult to do.
Thank you, Mr. Blaney. 5.2, the Illinois State Theater Fest. Dr. Piscavage.
Thank you. Community, colleagues, families, and students, my name is Dr. Jason Pescavage, principal of Bolingbrook High School. To the Board of Education, President Pro Tem Zach, thank you, and Dr. Wood, thank you for creating these opportunities to recognize our staff and our students. Today, I have musical director, Mr. Mark Wayne, to present one of our performers.
Good evening. My name is Mark Wayne, and I have been Quincy's musical director for the past 3 years. I first met Quincy when she auditioned for our annual musical review. It only took a few notes of her singing that I knew we were hearing something special, the voice of an angel. I remembered that moment, how fortunate we are here in Valley View to have such talent like Quincy. Quincy continued to blossom in the Brook Theater over the next few years. She slayed the stage in her first prominent role last year as she played the ever-sassy, sour kangaroo. She provided such life and dominance to that role. We could all see that she was headed towards a very bright senior year and beyond. Other than Quincy's clear talent on the stage, she is also an amazing individual off the stage. She is always so kind, well-mannered, optimistic, easygoing, and has a smile that will brighten up a room. I had the privilege of taking Quincy along with a group of students across the big pond for a 12-day adventure to Italy this past summer. I remember spending one of those evenings with Quincy and Miss Sterner outside our hotel, literally on the shores of the Ligurian Sea, as we worked on Quincy's All-State audition. What an awesome and memorable time that was, and that work certainly paid off as she was soon thereafter cast in this year's All-State Theater production, The Prom. We are so proud of Quincy and all she did to represent Bolingbrook High School over the past 6 months as she spent many hours and weekends preparing for the All-State production. It was an honor for us to travel down and support her earlier this month as she lit up the stage in her performance. I'm excited to see what she has in store for us this spring as she plays the iconic role of the witch in this year's musical, Into the Woods. Quincy, we are so proud of you, and thank you for always honoring the Raiders and honoring the Brook Theater. Thank you.
the time, effort, and energy that our directors and students put in for our performances, unless you've been part of it, you have no idea how hard they work. Congratulations.
Next on the agenda is the United States Senate Youth Program.
The United States Senate approved the United States Senate Youth Program in 1963. It's a national, nonpartisan appointment for high school students who have demonstrated leadership and future in public service. The Senate program brings the highest level officials from each branch of government to meet with an outstanding group of young leaders. This group consists of 2 high school juniors or seniors from each of the 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the Department of Defense Education and Activity. So, that being said, there were nearly 8 million juniors and seniors that were eligible for the program. And of the 8 million, 104 from Illinois, with 104 total, 2 of them being from Illinois, and 1 of them being from Bolingbrook High School. Here is Miriam Sugai, here today as our Senate representative. Congratulations. There you go. Congratulations. One through.
And she's an ambassador also. Thank you. I just want to read one little 4 lines. 104 students will be selected for a week-long government and leadership education program and will each receive a $10,000 undergraduate college scholarship. That is amazing for what she's done out of 8 million kids running to get that. So, thank you. Next on the agenda, staff recognition.
Good evening. We would like to welcome Mr. Dave Raffel to the podium. As he makes his way to the podium, Mr. Raffel is joining us this evening from the Illinois Principals Association. He's the regional director for Three Rivers region, and we will be recognizing several of our outstanding top-notch leaders here in Valley View. Welcome, Mr. Raffel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wood, Valley View School District. This is kind of becoming a regular thing, me coming up here giving out awards. If I keep driving from Morris up here, I may just have to ask Dr. Wood for a job here at Valley View. So, as I said, my name is Dave Raffel. I'm the region director for Three Rivers. It's the 2nd largest region in the state. And I've had the honor to be the president for the past 2 years. And you guys have some great staff members. And I love working with all the leaders here in Valley View and see them move on to bigger and better things when they outgrow the IPA. So the IPA and Horace Mann is who sponsors our awards. And the awards are given, recognizes the accomplishments of outstanding school leaders throughout Illinois. They are nominated by a colleague, and then they are vetted through a process, and region winners are selected. Valley View School District has 3 region winners tonight, and then they will be moving on to the state competition, which will be announced at our state annual conference in October. So good luck to all of the region winners as they move on to the state. The first award is Reaching Out and Building Bridges Award. The Horace Mann IPA Reaching Out and Building Bridges Award is designed to recognize an IPA principal or assistant principal and an agency, association, or community member displaying an outstanding effort in creating partnerships between schools, principals, associations, and organizations for the betterment of all. This year's Three Rivers Building Bridges and Reaching Out Award is Mrs. Claudia Gurney for her work with Lewis University. And the representative from Lewis University is Kendrick Cornelius. Yeah, go ahead. The next award I'd like to present is the Herman Graves Award. Considered the highest honor bestowed by the Illinois Principals Association, the Herman Graves Award was established in 1991 to recognize Herman for his outstanding service to the IPA. Herman was selected as the first honoree, and the award was established because of the intrinsic contributions he made. Yes, Herman had been an officer at the regional level, a director, and served on the executive board, and for many years was a state standing committee chairman. But that was not the reason he was honored an award established in his name. The real reason was that Herman Graves was known as Mr. IPA in Region 6 and Southern Illinois. He never passed up an opportunity to extol the virtues of IPA, whether he was addressing a recently appointed principal, a legislator, a district superintendent, or any other individual whom he felt should be informed. He contacted the IPA office, leaders, or whomever necessary on a regular basis to alert them of issues he felt were important to the health of the organization. Furthermore, he never contacted anyone without the offer to devote his own time and resources to attack the issue. His enthusiasm for the profession and for the association was always contagious to those around him. And I can say personally, as somebody who has worked with your honoree for the Herman Graves Award, Dan Laverty is a great, great representative, not just of your schools and community, but of IPA as a whole. I met him when he was the region director, and he welcomed me in when I was new to the area, and he's been just so great to work with, and he's one of those guys that you just want to, when he says, let's try something, you just want to jump in and help him. And so it is my honor to recognize my colleague and my friend, Dan Laverty, as this year's Three Rivers Herman Graves Award winner. And last, but certainly not least, we also have the Three Rivers IPA Middle School Principal of the Year. This is Sonia Ruiz. The Horace Mann IPA Junior High Middle School Principal of the Year Award program awards annually recognizes the outstanding middle school leaders who have succeeded in providing high-quality learning opportunities for all students. The principals have made exemplary contributions to the profession and are acknowledged by their peers. The program honors junior high, middle school principals who have demonstrated that they excel in the 7 areas addressed by the selection criteria. And I just want to say too, again, working with such a great, being the region director, I get to work with a lot of great principals on our executive board, and Sonia is another great leader in our region. So again, you have somebody who's not just exemplary for Valley View, but exemplary in the state as she serves on our region board, but also as the diversity and equity chair for the state of Illinois at the IPA. So again, you have great people up here, and that's why you're doing great things. It's all about the people. And so it is my honor to again introduce and recognize not just my colleague, but my friend, Sonia Ruiz, Middle School Principal of the Year.
Just want to say thank you to those teachers and principals on all the work that they do to make the students of Valley View and give them a better chance for chance in life. No treasurer's report, Mr. Renish? Consent agenda items. Dr. Wood.
Yes, tonight we are seeking your approval of 10 consent agenda items as presented. 7.1 board meeting minutes, January 13th. 7.2 executive session minutes, January 13th. 7.3 Romeoville High School trips. 7.4 gifts to Jonas Salk Elementary School. 7.5 intergovernmental agreement between STEP and Joliet Junior College. 7.6 student activity contract Jamie McGee Elementary, Cementals. 7.7 fiscal year 23-24 audit. 7.8 gifts to Dr. James Mitchum Early Childhood Center. 7.9 gifts for Oakview Elementary School. And 7.10 trip for Bolingbrook High School.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Seeing no questions, or we have a roll call vote, please.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Baduris?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Point 1, board liaison reports. From my left.
On January 16th, Secretary Sikora and I had met with the staff safety working group, and it was basically what they call a tabletop exercise. And this is where each of the agencies that work with emergencies that occur, and going over their plans and how they're going to interact and what they're going to do. So it was a lot of talking, and part of the response team was the police department, the fire department, park district. So many different community agencies also participate in any type of emergency or certain types of emergencies. One thing I had taken from this whole thing is how much work, how much thought goes into it, how much preparation, and just in case of scenarios that could possibly happen where they might need these different agencies to support our students and our staff. And a lot of work went into it, and again, always more things need to happen, but I was just taken away by how much and thought had gone into it. So thank you to all that participated.
Anybody from my right, from the board? 8.2 will be our board liaison report.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Zoya Mia, and I'm one of the student ambassadors for Bolingbrook High School. It's an honor to be up here with the board and share my report. I'd like to shout out to my Chinese teacher, Miss Lin, for always supporting me. To start off, we had a very successful e-learning day this past Tuesday. Our Scholastic Bowl team became a champion finalist for the IHSS BCA Turnabout competition. We had our speech team compete last Saturday, placing an overall third place and winning more than 20 individual medals. Our Lunar New Year festival preparations have started, and the QR code to RSVP can be found on our school homepage. We also announced our valedictorian of 2025. Congratulations to Laura Dorgium. Our amazing basketball team won against Joliet West on Friday with a score of 66-62. NHS is also hosting its blood drive on February 3rd. Both Romeoville and Bolingbrook High Schools had a very successful incoming freshman night. We hope all of the incoming Raiders and Spartans had a wonderful welcome. And our very own student ambassador Miriam was accepted into the United States 63rd Senate Youth Program. A huge congratulations to her. Yearbooks are now available to order, and last but certainly not least, we have an upcoming music movie concert on February 6th. Thank you.
Thank you. Audience participation. Members of the public have an opportunity to address the Board of Education. Please be advised that the board has the right under board policies to limit public comments to 5 minutes or less.
Good evening. This is Jim Fisher. I had two sons make it through the school. One's at Iowa State, one's at Purdue. I have a volleyball player right now as a varsity junior. She has been playing throughout all this school year. You guys took away the 7th grade volleyball in middle school, but gave it to high schools. That wasn't fair. You guys have done a lot of things to my student and others. And we've got a principal here that experienced it, actually 2 principals that got the unfairness that middle schools did not play for a year while they watched high school students play. So I was going to give a nice long speech today, but since Mr. Quigley's not here today, I'm going to shorten it. That way I can have him in attendance when I finish the speech. So one of the things I wanted to talk about here is that my pronouns are DEI is dead and Trump is our president. So I'll be throwing pronouns out there as we go. Great to hear at the last meeting that the DEI director quit. My question to you, Mr. Superintendent, when are you going to fire the other staff members that are still on your staff under the DEI organization for this district? That's my question to you. Do you have an answer, or there's no direction to do that?
I have no comment.
I don't think your mic was on. Okay. So I got 3 points. I'll touch one today. Why the board is woke. The board, as I said before when Steve was here, the board is weak. And they're well past the time for replacement, especially the standing senior board member with 28 years that's sitting on this table. If you do your research, you can figure out which one of those people that is. COVID-19 is how you guys hated the students and the parents with outlandish rules that, especially masks, that statistics, evidence, surveys, research show that it didn't work. You kicked the kids out of school. It didn't work. You hurt the kids. You made them less competitive to other people outside of the state and other students that didn't have that barrier for them. The second item I had was lawfare. Trump's out of lawfare because he's now the president. You guys applied lawfare. I'll wait to discuss lawfare when Steve gets back. The third item is how you guys hate women. 100 years of women's suffrage. Now you got a boy floating around in a girl's bathroom. You fixed the 1,000 peepholes over the holiday break. I thank you for that. I thanked you last meeting for that. But there are still issues. Girls' panties are still there. He does panty raids every day. So we'll get into detail on that. But back to COVID, I wanted to put a couple of things down for COVID. The question I have is, do you have teachers right now that wear masks all day? And that's to you, Mr. Superintendent. Maybe it's something that Mr. Pascavage, Dr. Pascavage might be able to answer. I don't know.
That is a specific question. I do not have any information on teachers wearing masks the entirety of the day. It's not a school mandate for folks to mask up.
That's awesome. There is no mandate to folks, parents, teachers, students to mask up. At one point in time, you were sued by our parents, and you lost that suit. And then you held a special meeting, and I actually attended that special meeting. You weren't here, but you put a policy in that as you approached a certain level of statistics, you were going to mandate masking. I looked all over the website now. It has disappeared. Is that a hidden agenda that you guys have? Is that a hidden policy you have? Or do you still have that on the books that if you reach a certain area level, based on whatever metrics you determine, will you mandate masks in this school? Is that your policy? And again, that's to you, Mr. Superintendent.
I'll research that and get back to you, Mr. Fisher.
Thank you.
Thank you, your 5
And
minutes
I
are
got
over.
one more thing, this comment to make about my child. COVID's over. 2 years ago, she was appointed to a Spanish class. The Spanish teacher
Fisher,
wore
your 5 minutes
her
has
mask.
exceeded.
And guess what? She got pushed. I asked and she got out of that. How can you teach Spanish with a mask on? This past year, she got assigned again to the same
Mr.
teacher with the
Fisher,
same mask.
Your 5
Please
minutes
don't
has exceeded.
assign my
We could-
students to masked teachers. Thank you.
Is there somebody that else would like to address the board?
Good evening.
Good evening. Please state your name.
Yes, my name is Heather Friye Busua. I am an alumna of Bolingbrook High School, as well as a proud resident of Bolingbrook, Illinois. So thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I do want to start by thanking the entire board for their opportunity to speak, and also to Miss Jordan Jambra, who also serves as one of the student ambassadors for the School Board of Education, for informing me about this opportunity to speak to you all this evening. I have had the honor and privilege of serving as the youth president for the Youth Ministry of Christian Faith Church International in Romeoville, Illinois. And I humbly stand before you today to request your support for an upcoming mission trip that is dubbed Mission Ghana 2025 that will be taking place from June 14th to the 25th in Ghana, West Africa. This mission is focused on providing vital community outreach, educational support, and spiritual growth opportunities to underserved areas in the western region of Ghana. One of the key initiatives we will focus on during our time there is to support the Christian Faith Church Preparatory School, where we will deliver much needed educational resources such as laptops, backpacks, notebooks, and tablets to both the students and the teachers. And these contributions will help enhance the quality of education and create a more enriching learning environment for the children. So the success of Mission Ghana 2025 relies on the generosity of individuals and organizations who share our passion for uplifting communities and making a positive, lasting impact. And so I'm humbly asking for the board's support for donation for the following items. These can be new or refurbished as you see fit: laptops, Chromebooks, tablets, calculators, printers, projectors, and any other relevant school supplies as needed. Your support would play a vital role in transforming the lives and providing hope for these communities. Thank you for considering this opportunity to make a difference, and together we can bring hope and change to the communities of Takoradi, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Hello.
I've never been to the school board meeting. I haven't been to one in a very long time.
Please
And I don't
state
know if
your
this
name,
is
though.
the correct forum, but I am.
State your name for the record.
My name is Jean Walsh, and I'm from Bolingbrook. Years ago, I was a president of the Oakview PTO. And at that time, when school board members were running for re-election or election, the PTOs, many of them sponsored school board candidates nights. Well, a couple years ago, I decided that I didn't know who the candidates were anymore that were running for school board, and I tried to find out. And that's pretty difficult. 2 years ago, I asked about a school board candidates night. There's just one, and it was sponsored, I believe, by the union. I asked Mr. Quigley afterward if there were any others. It was too late to ask to have another one. So nothing in the community, nobody in the community knows anything about the candidates. As you know, if you live in Bolingbrook, I don't know about Romeoville, but in Bolingbrook, we have no local newspaper. All we have is the patch. And so I saw on the patch at the beginning of December that there are 6 school board candidates that they had filled out and submitted their petition to Will County. And now I've seen that one of those 6 is now on the board, was appointed at the end of December. That is all the information, and I found that on the Valley View website. We have no other information, and the election is coming in April. So my question to the school board is there any way that you can work with the candidates or give them suggestions on how they can have a school board candidates night or put out some information in the district? Because, you know, all my friends, my neighbors, guess what, we're empty nesters. Our kids are all gone. They've been educated in Valley View, but they're all married, and nobody knows anything about the election or any of the candidates. So I'm just coming to you to see if you can help the candidates or get come to the schools to have a candidates night, just something so the community can find out who these candidates are and ask them questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
Good evening, board, members of the administration.
Could you state your name, please?
I'm going to take this off. My name is Bill Spengler. I'm a 22-year resident of the Valley View School District. Jim Fisher is my neighbor, and I know Jim has had a long history with this board, with this district, facing challenges. I had, for a long time, assumed Jim's heart was in the right place, that the things that he brought forward were really in the best interests of his kids and the schools. I got a different lesson tonight, so DEI is a good thing. Diversity is a good thing. Equity is something that we should be striving to foster in this district, in our community, and throughout our society. I don't know why we wouldn't want inclusion. Do we want division? Is that the way we should go? No. Let's work on inclusion. So, DEI, good thing, despite what the current administration has to say. Let's see, bathrooms. It's a big issue right now. I would suggest that we probably have larger safety concerns for our LGBTQ+ students because of rhetoric like what you've put forward here at the meeting tonight. There's a larger concern for their safety than for anyone else's safety that you've tried to make us believe. And as for COVID, I mean, it's yesterday's news. What it reinforces for me is that you're not here to look forward, to make progress, to do positive things for the district. It's about an agenda for you, and I hope that the community recognizes that, discounts it, and continues to grow as an organization here within the schools and as a community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Mr. Lawler.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Lawler. I'm honored to serve as the president of the Valley View Educational Enrichment Foundation. We are now in our 30th year of a phenomenal partnership with the school district. We're an all-volunteer organization of community leaders, several of which are serving on our board tonight and are out in the audience as well. I was originally coming to talk about event that's coming up, but I'm going to add one more topic. Last Saturday night, one of the most innovative and collaborative examples of community organizations working together, Kinetic Dance Company in Bolingbrook put together an event, Dancing with the Bolingbrook Stars. And it included 7 community leaders. I'll just give a quick shout out. Dorothy Andrews with the Park District, Barbara Parker with the DuPage Township, myself, Melissa Bolts with the Bolingbrook Chamber, Mike Seelip with the Bolingbrook Park District, Bobby Armstrong representing Fountaindale Library Board, and Teresa Polson representing Valley View School District. So it was, each person had a performance, and the proceeds from the event, this was a fundraiser to support Kinetic Dance Company, nonprofit organization, and each person was able to designate an organization to support them. So Teresa and I chose Valley View Educational Enrichment Foundation. Guess who got the fan favorite performance? Teresa Polson. Now, thanks to the efforts of Bolingbrook Community Television, there's a recording of all the performances. It's live and available. So I'm going to give you instructions on how to find it so you can enjoy the performances. You didn't know this was coming tonight, did you? Cablecast is an app that you can download on your phones. Many communities around the country use this technology to rebroadcast recordings of community events, community meetings. So download Cablecast, choose Bolingbrook, and one of the early, as you scroll through the screen, this is video on demand technology. One of the earlier ones that you're going to find on the list was Dancing with the Bolingbrook Stars. We're not going to show it here tonight, out of respect for time. And I want to commend Teresa for her performance. Very nimble, athletic, and high-quality dance. My kids had a pool going as to how long I would last before paramedics were needed for my performance. After watching her, I realized I'll never be able to make moves like that again, what she did. So I want to commend you for your efforts and for winning the award. Now, Valley View Educational Enrichment Foundation, getting the support there. Friday, March 7th, an email went out to all district employees today, thanks to Mr. Jim Blaney. We have our annual dinner and auctions. So far, since 1994, we have been able to fund 1,191 grant programs designed by amazing educators that go above and beyond the curriculum. And that's nearly $2 million of funding for teachers and educators who go into their own pockets to help their students. Very commendable activity, but we saw they needed help 30 years ago. The theme this year is Wild, Wild West. So it's going to be at the Bolingbrook Golf Club, Friday, March 7th. It's a dinner and auctions, and then recognition for grant recipients from this year will also happen. Any questions on the dinner? You're welcome to join us. Between that and our golf outing in June is our major source of funding for the grant programs that are submitted each year. 1,191 grants funded, $2 million. So hopefully we can get your support. And go out and download Cablecast if you've got the permission to do that on your phones, and enjoy the performance. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Mike. Next on the agenda, 10.1, Action Report.
Action for 10.1 is the Consolidated Action Report for Certified, Classified, and Administrative Personnel. The administration is respectfully seeking your approval on all items as presented.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Boduris?
Yes.
Member Campbell? Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Okay. 11, Mr. Renish, I guess you're nothing to say on action reports. Nothing. 12.0, nothing. 13.1, Superintendent Dr. Wood, Vision 2030, sorry.
Yes, thank you. Vice President Zach, a recommendation to adopt a resolution in support of Illinois Vision 2030 was presented at the last meeting as an information report, and information was included in the board packet for review. Key initiatives for Illinois Vision 2030 include keeping students and educators safe, keeping high-quality educators in front of students, enhancing post-secondary success, and improving measurement of what is working. Tonight, we are seeking your approval of this resolution as presented.
Motion? We have a motion and a second. Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, a roll call vote, please.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Member Voudouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. Board policies, 13.2.
Yes, the following board policies were presented to the board at the last meeting as an information report. Board Policy 2.105, Ethics and Gift Ban, 2.110, Qualifications, Term and Duties of Board Officers, and 2.260, Uniform Grievance Procedure. We are seeking your approval of these policies as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Questions or discussions? Seeing none, hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Member Voudouris?
Yes.
Member Campbell?
Yes.
Member Heil?
Yes.
Member Sutherland?
Yes.
Secretary Sikora?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Zach?
Yes. 14.1, Superintendent Information Reports.
Thank you, Vice President Zach. For my superintendent update this evening, just wanted to point out, even though we are future focused and looking at making plans for next year right now, and what you see is the images in the far left and center. Far left is the progress being made at the Early Childhood Center satellite campus in Bolingbrook, making good progress on that and quite excited for that to launch. And you see an image that represents the before, the still, the calm before the storm of all the freshmen coming to the RHS freshman night. And Bolingbrook High School had their freshman night a couple of weeks ago. So we're definitely planning for next year now. But that does not mean that our activities and programs and learning have stopped. We're halfway through the year, and a lot of good things are happening, and there are a lot of good things to come. And I mentioned the Dr. James Mitchum Early Childhood Center, and you saw that picture. And I just want to remind folks that there will be a community outreach and inclusion program. Tomorrow was rescheduled, and we are quite excited about this particular event because it gives us an opportunity to reach out, and we've invited daycare providers throughout the community to come out to learn how they can partner with us. The program that we're looking to launch essentially provides students with special needs, special education services in preschool. And that's something that rarely, if ever, happens. This program will be a gold standard, and it is a partnership and collaboration between local legislators to include Senator Capel and Representative Manley. It was, without their support, we wouldn't have an opportunity to do this. So I invite everyone who has an interest in learning what we're doing to help out our littlest learners and our neediest learners out tomorrow night between 7 and 9. So this next item is an event that I attended back on, what was it, January 18th, I believe. And the cool thing about that was I had an opportunity to connect with a teen leadership conference. And one of the questions that I ask myself when I sit in on organizations like the Lions Club or the Foundation or other community agencies is like, you know, what will happen when we age out? And those are the folks that are there. I mean, the folks that sit there about my age, we're not getting any younger. And it's like, where is that next level of leadership? So it made me think in attendance that that next level of leadership was present in the room. I was blown away by the event and the way it was facilitated. There were a few individuals that kind of rose to the top, and they were also happened to be Romeoville High School students. One of them was Ben Smith. The other is Eleni Trejo and Sienna Grant. And the cool thing about it, and you just saw the two come forward, and you could come to the podium, is that Eleni and Ben facilitated, and this was a student-led, student-run organization. And I figured, who would be better to tell you about this than either the folks who facilitated or also participated from Sienna's perspective as well. So Eleni and Sienna, would you mind addressing the audience? Can you tell us about some of the things that went into developing the program, the experience, some of the activities for the day, and what you learned from it? And the cool thing about it, they're both student ambassadors as well. So take it away.
Hello, my name is Sienna Grant, and I was attending as a participant at this event that my classmate Eleni and also our friend Ben Smith put together and organized. So I attended to support, but I really ended up taking away much more than I was thinking. And I've been to many similar leadership conferences just as part of school and extracurriculars, but none have made me prouder to participate in than this one, seeing as it was kickstarted by peers that I'm so close with. So this really helped me further my skills in leadership, and it was a great experience to see the changes that any student can bring no matter our age. So I am very thankful for having the opportunity to attend, and we encourage any other teen to attend the next one that will be in the next 2 to 3 months. So here's Eleni to talk more about the event since she was the facilitator.
So firstly, thank you again, Dr. Wood, for the opportunity to speak today, and then thank you also to Sienna. So good evening, everyone. My name is Eleni Trejo, and firstly, I also want to thank Mayor John Noak, the village trustees, VVSD board member Victor Zach, and again, Dr. Wood, and Love That Balloon Decor and more for supporting and sponsoring our mission to empower teens as leaders in their schools and their communities. Our program's purpose is to help teens discover their leadership potential and use it to create positive change. Through small group activities that foster relationships and large group games that build teamwork and leadership skills, we've seen these young people grow into confidence and purpose. We had the Latin American Student Organization, Muslim Student Association, Black Student Association, and the Asian Alliance of Students attend to promote a diverse leadership opportunity to DUCAP-sponsored clubs and general community. We were also inspired by 2 incredible speakers, Tamora Williams, who shared her strategies for success and self-belief, and Commander Demetrius Anderson, who emphasized the power of integrity and community. Their insights left a lasting impact. This program showed me the transition and transformation that happens when teens realize that leadership isn't about titles. It's about courage, collaboration, and compassion. Together, we're equipping them to lead today and the future. I look forward to the next part of our leadership series in 2 to 3 months and all of the growth that is to come with it. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. Our community is stronger because of your support. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Eleni and Sienna. I gotta tell you, it was just a powerful moment for me, and it's just exciting to see our students, as it says there, being today's learners but tomorrow's leaders, and also too being in different places and spaces and seeing the student ambassadors who present in front, but also other students who do just quite a wonderful job leading the way across the district. So thank you again for all the work that you do to make our communities better. And just a shout out to the DuPage County Area Project for sponsoring the event to allow you guys opportunity to have that experience. All right, and just important upcoming dates, January 29th and February 12th, our early release days, and February 10th is our next board meeting. That is the end of my update.
14.2, proposed 25-26 board meeting dates.
Yep, that's me again. So item 14.2, board policy, oops, check that. 14.2, proposed 2025-2026 board meeting dates are presented for your review and consideration as information report this evening. We looked at next year's school calendar, and also a note it does follow the cadence of this year's board meetings. We will present that for action at the next board meeting.
Service.
No report.
Valley View Council, Local 604. Valley View Office Personnel Council, Local 604. Or the Valley View Transportation, Local 3057. Don't have anybody to report? Any old business? We have any new business? Freedom of information. Freedom of Information Act requires, the Freedom of Information Act requires complied by Valley View School District 365 can be viewed by the public on the VVSD viewable FOIA log. The log is updated as formally response by VVS and completed and sent to the register. That will be Mr. Blaney and back if you have any questions on FOIAs. Announcements by the board. To my left.
I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Carter Larry for his leadership in providing a safe environment for the staff and children of Valley View School District. Thank you.
Buddy from my right.
Yes, I would just like to thank the bus driver of bus number 42. I was dropping my grandson off after school, and then I saw these kids getting off the bus, and then there was this little girl who got off the bus, and the bus driver, I'm sitting behind just watching, seeing what's going to happen. And so he had the little girl to get back on the bus until her parent came out to make sure that she was safe. She was a little late, and I did call transportation. They said that, yes, he had brought her back, and then they were able to call the parents. But I just want to thank God for the staff that we have, for the transportation in particular, and all our caring Valley View family. Thank you.
Okay. I have a couple announcements. I had the great opportunity to attend the second annual Martin Luther King Day brunch at the golf course. I actually had an opportunity when you're walking around meeting some people. I met a young gentleman that goes to Bolingbrook High School, somebody that catches somebody's eyes, just like the young people we have in front, the young lady I have sitting next here. And I met his mother. The gentleman is Alex Flores. He actually has a side hustle. It's called Blues Detailing. We ended up having about a 15-minute conversation, and he was sitting there telling me about his company, working and stuff like that. And I felt like going back when I was in high school, we had junior achievement, and we worked with different businesses, and we learned business. Somebody to sit there and go out and get a side hustle to try to make some money through the summer, that is great. That is what we do. We have a group of ambassadors here. People look around, and Dr. Wood was saying, where are the leaders of the future? They're here. They're sitting right in front of us. They just have to take the initiative. We commend you. We have somebody in that group is one of 8 million. It's like winning the lotto. She should be proud of herself. Her parents should be proud of themselves. But as you sit around, we don't have to look too far. We are from a great community, and we have a lot of opportunity. A community builds this. So I just want to say thank you to the young children that are here that are going to be the leaders of the future. If no more announcements on that. Any announcements by the administration?
I would just like to end by saying that we serve approximately 15,000 students, and we are one of the most diverse school districts in the state. We're a public education center, and I'd like to thank all of my educators, all staff who provide wonderful, world-class services and support to all of our diverse learners.
We're looking for a motion to adjourn. All those in favor, aye? Aye? Nays? Nays? Thank you. Have a good night. Drive safely.